So I created a new project called Book Track app. All right, and this is actually a Git repository, but you don't have to go that route, of course, if you don't want to. But this is how I did it. So I have a folder on my computer called GitHub, and I have all my Git projects and so forth. So create a folder there, and then open that folder using VS Code. It's very simple. What you do is you open VS Code, and then you can go say open here, and then navigate to that folder for your project. Okay, so once you have that folder, that project, what you need to do, we need to then create the actual Flutter project, as you know. So I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so it occupies everything. And we've seen this before. All you do is say Command Shift P or Control Shift P, and then we look for Flutter new project like that. So if you start typing FL, you can see then it comes up real quickly. If not, you have to continue typing. So Flutter new project, and make sure you go up or down to get to new application, right? Project. So click enter, and then it's going to ask us which folder. We're going to say that is the folder. What I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go like this because I don't want to go one up. I want to go the main folder. Okay, so select that one. The name of this project is going to be book_tracker, like this. Enter, and then seconds later you can see now it's creating the project, the Flutter project. So it's running the Flutter create and create all of the files that we need. Okay, very simple, straightforward. Again, I have to say, because I'm using Git repository, you will see something strange, or rather different, the coloration of all these files. So this is all green because it means I haven't pushed all of this onto the Git repository. In your case, you don't have to worry about that. This is just for me so that I have all this project code in one place, so then I can share with you. So don't worry about all these different colors you will see here. And it defaults always to Mac because that's where we are. What we need to do is to select a different device. So to do that, you say Command Shift P or Command Control P and say select device. So we can type, look for select device, right? Enter, and I want Chrome. Hit enter, save, and then say F5, or you could have clicked the run button. That would work as well. So this time we should see Chrome in debug mode, which is going to be connected and run. And there you have it. So a very simple default app. Click and numbers are incremented. Let's get rid of this debug thing there. I don't like it, and you shouldn't like it either. Although it's a good idea to keep it. So let's go to our return material, and I'm going to say debug like that, and I'm going to say false because that's what we want. We don't want to see that thing. And there you have it. So no longer is there, and this all works. Not what we're going for, but at least that works. Okay. All right. So let's get rid of all these things that we don't want. All of this. And I'm going to get rid of this my home class because we don't need that either. So here it's going to be get started. This is what we're going to have showing. Okay. And we haven't created get started screen yet. So at the bottom, I'm going to say stateless like this, and I'm going to create the screen get started. Now, what is this screen? Well, if you go back here in our main app that is running, you notice that we have this get started screen where it's just going to be some text and this button here. When they click, they're going to go to the sign in or create account. Okay, so we're going to go from the back to front. So I'm going to get rid of this main, enter, and this is what happens. Okay, so in this case here, we're going to do that. Let's go ahead and call this get started like this. Okay, let's save this. We should be able to see something different. Right, nothing, because we just have a container there. So that's why it doesn't show anything. That's totally fine. And we can change this title to just say something like book tracker if we wish to do so, and we can get rid of all of the rest. So for our get started page, in fact, let me call this get started page. And because I've already called it here, if I want to change the name, I could go ahead and say Command D. Notice now highlights both occurrences. And I can just say something like get started page like that. And click somewhere else and voila. So you changed all of that in one setting. Very good. So what do we want to happen again? We want to have something like this. So you noticed it's kind of hard to see, but we have a circular avatar, and inside we have text and of course the button. Okay, this is a little bit exaggerated, but that's fine. So that's what we need. And now we need to start thinking about what is the widget that will help us to have something like this, right? We have items that are laid out top to bottom. So this should be a column, right? Okay, so let's do this. Let's look at what we have here. That means then, in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and return material. Let's say material like like this. If I can spell, of course, material. And then inside, I'm going to have a child. And this child, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass a circle avatar first. And then inside, we have a child. And we are going to pass a column. It makes sense because really we want to have that circle, and inside of that circle we're going to have these widgets. Very well. First, for a circle avatar, I'm going to add a background color, and for now I'm going to say background, actually say colors, and let's call this light gray. I don't have light gray. Light green accent, that's fine for now. Let's save this and see if we're going to see something special. And there you have it, right? A big old circle that is just there. Hideous color. Let's probably change this to something, just colors that, call this black 12. Maybe that's going to be better for now. There we go. That's fine. Okay, so it's working. So that means then inside of our column here, that's where we can add the texts that we see here. So this, that, and then hopefully this button. Okay. All right. So the first thing I'm going to add here is going to be a text that will say book tracker. I'm going to copy this, right? This needs to be inside of children. This. So I'm going to just put that inside there. Okay. And then paste again. The second one will say something like read that change yourself. Something cheesy like that. Let's save this and see if this is actually going to show anything. All right. You can kind of see here. It's right at the top there. Let me zoom in a little bit. The colors are not very helpful, but we're going to change that. So it says something nice there. And the other thing we can do to kind of in the middle here, what we can do is I can come up here and put inside of a spacer, actually put a spacer that is. So whenever you need to pad things or move things down, you can use a spacer, because a spacer, what it does, it pushes everything that is down or up to the middle or to the bottom or up, depending where you're putting that spacer. Okay, so it takes all the space that it needs so that anything else it's below it or after it will be bumped up or down, left or right. So if you save this now, we're going to see probably hopefully some differences. Right, it's all the way down here, puts all to the bottom. All right, so this is working, but not quite. So as I said, the spacer will bump everything down in this case because we put the spacer at the top, and that's why this is at the bottom, which is not what we want. We want something like this, right? Kind of in the middle. So what do we do? Yes, you guessed it. We're gonna go ahead and copy and paste this other spacer at the bottom. So hopefully it's going to take up that bottom space and put everything in the middle like that. All right, let's change these colors because it's really hideous and we can't see anything. That's not helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and put style, text style as such. And we're going to say color, going to be colors dot black 26. And let's also do font size of about 29, like that. Okay, for the first one. In fact, I'm going to use this for the second one. Let's get rid of this and put that here. And for this one here, the actual title of this app, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some other ways of styling it. I'm going to say style, and I'm going to use the theme.of and pass the context, right? And then I'm going to say text theme. You can access that and then say either headline 2 or 3 or 4. So the bigger the number, the smaller the text. Yeah, the text side. So I'm going to say, hey, line 3. Now, this is really awesome. The reason why doing this always helps, and it's recommended in so many ways, is because then that means depending on the theme of this app, if you go back here, we notice that we have this theme data. So it takes the theme data, the primary swatch and everything from this material app. Okay, so whatever you are in this project, you can use that and it will pull in the theme that we passed in our material app creation in my app. Okay, so different ways. And the other thing you can do also, if you want to add more to this theme, kind of customize even further, you can say dot after that. You can say copy with, like that. And then you can continue further. You can say color, for instance, add different colors, say colors dot blue, for instance, and so forth, right? So in this case here, you are extending the theme that we already have, that if you wish to do so. And you will see me do things like that throughout this course anyway. So something to show you. All right, so we have that. Let's save and see if this will help in any shape or form. All right, very good. It's looking really good. Very bold and aggressive, but it's okay. So book tracker, read, change yourself. Wow, we have to read. Now I notice I have a problem here, which I need to add another closing double quotes there because I had started and never finished it. Okay, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Just small things, but nonetheless, they're very important. Okay, there we go. That looks very good. All right, so we're making good progress. In the next video, we're going to continue, make it so that it looks more like this than what we have here. But so far, so good. And remember, this also is zoomed in, right? So if I zoom out at 100%, this is what you're going to see. So 125. In any case, congratulations again here, and I'll see you in the next video.